Howdy folks, I'm just throwing together a little video here to give you a step-by-step tutorial of how I go ahead and take pre-existing documents and put them into an editable digital format. This is what I tend to do with my 7th grade math students. I know there are other ways in which other teachers do this. This is just what I've found easiest for me and for my students. I've been doing all this through Google Drive, so what I tend to do is I will pick the folder that I want my file to be housed in. In this case, I'm working with my 7 honors class, and I'm going to be working with my Unit 10 statistics folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and then I use the New button here on the side, and I've been making most of my files through Google Slides. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new file using Google Slides. Now you're going to get this format when you open it up right away. I actually tend to close this out just to give myself a bigger space to see what's going on. And I usually just select all of these items here and delete them to give myself a blank slide. You can also go ahead and add a blank slide by using this drop-down menu up here. And you'll see this option right down here will add a blank slide. Okay, so now that we have the initial setup done, I'm going to go ahead to the document that I'm looking for, which happens to be this statistics packet right here. I use Snagit to take pictures of the file that I wish to work with. Alright, and I'm not going to do all of it, but I will give you a rundown of what I do. Alright. We have 3 pictures of this particular file at the moment. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and copy the picture and go to my file, and I'm just going to paste it. Now the reason why I do this, it's a little bit easier to drop a picture into slides and crop the picture to make it fit exactly as you want. And this, if you're using Snagit in conjunction with making this file, it's a lot easier this way. In order to crop a picture, you have to double click on it. Alright, so you give it the double left click and you'll get the option to crop the picture. Cut it to however you need it to be and press the enter button, and you have your picture of that part of the document. Alright, you can go ahead and resize it to make it as big as you need. I tend to use the boxes in the corner to resize so that it stays proportional. That way we don't get any of that weird distortion from resizing. If you use one of these ones from the side, you can see the text is all out of whack. There we go. Now one thing that I have found is easier for the students. It is important for them to learn how to put a text box into a document, but for the sake of the time and ease, I've actually been making the text boxes ahead of time for the students. So I use the text box tool here, draw out the text box, and then in order to make it known that this is something the students can fill in, I use this pencil here to change the color of the outline of the box. So you can see it now has a red outline. If I wanted to stand out a little bit more, I could use the line weight button up here to make it a little bit thicker. Alright. You also have the option of changing the size of the font and the font itself and the color of the font. I usually go with a font a little bit larger, an 18 point, in order to make it stand out a little bit more. And I usually take a contrasting color to the outline that I used. Alright, and then keyboard shortcuts. We could go ahead and use our Control-D in order to clone the text boxes and resize as needed. The big thing to remember with this format of transferring the pre-existing documents over is that the students are going to need quite a bit more room than you might have previously thought to work through these things, because they're probably going to be typing or writing their work out on paper and dropping a snapshot of their work into the file. If you don't know how to do a snapshot, I could go ahead and make another video for you. Just let me know on that. but I will actually show a quick example of that now. I usually go to Insert, Image. It gives you the option here of take a snapshot. Fortunately, my computer here has a camera that makes it available. You can click Allow, and now you'll see this screen change to allow an actual picture. You can click Close on that. If it's the first time you're using it, you'll probably see another menu pop up here. You can click Allow on that as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just take a picture of some work that I have for one of my other classes. All right, and we can click Take Snapshot. And now we have our picture. Click Select. And it'll automatically put that in there for you. And now we can go ahead and crop or resize as needed. So let's say I just want this little section right here where I very obviously made a mistake on my answer key. Alright, we can drop that in here and resize as needed. The only issue with resizing student work and resizing the snapshots of their work is that you will have this little distortion in here. So you may want to just let the students know that there might be some issues with the pictures themselves, and if they need to, they can, resize so that it fits and looks appropriate. The nice thing about this is if the students decide that they have a full sheet and they just want it to fit on that one slide, you could always take the picture after the fact and resize it, so you can really see what's going on. But as I said, there's that little bit of distortion. Alright, let's go ahead and get that out of there. So as I said before, there are other ways to do this. There's some teachers that convert everything over to a Google Doc. I'm going to go ahead and show you that as well. There are some extensions that you could also load up into your Google Chrome. I've been having some difficulty with those, mostly because not all of them are approved by Fairfax just yet. But if you happen to come across a good one, make sure you let your SBIT know. See if they can get it approved through the process. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at loading something up through a Google Doc. The nice thing about that, it's pretty seamless conversion for most Word documents. There are some weird quirks, so you might have to replace some pictures here and there, but for the most part, it's not too bad. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and pull a file from my desktop. Actually, I'm going to pull the exact same file, this statistics unit file right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it right into my drive. All right. So now you can see that this Word document is in my Google Drive. If I right-click on this, I have the option of Open With. If you go ahead and select Google Docs, it'll convert most of the text over properly for you. As I said before, you might have some issues with pictures. Maybe you have to readjust their location, or you might have to use Snagit to take another picture and drop it back into the file in the right place. As you can see, it's okay, good. Those ones actually came up okay. But here you can see there's a little bit of a shift in these tables based off of the way that they were in Word. So what I might do in order to clean this up is I'll cut those tables out and take pictures and drop them in. So there's some minor editing here and there that you might have to do in order to make it fit properly, but that's another option that you have. Alright, I hope this video helps. Let me know if there's anything else that I can do. Just shoot me an email or whatever and let me know what stuff I can do to help you work this process through. Have a good one.